Hi, everybody. Okay, so we're just kind of fiddling around a little bit with our volume outputs. So hopefully everybody sounds okay. Kind of for stream purposes, everybody sounds like they sound to me. You guys should be good for the recording and all that. Just keep fiddling for yourselves, so you guys are dialed in for yourselves. Welcome back to A Blaze of Cruelty, everybody. This is our first full Valgas campaign. I'm going to introduce our players here in a moment, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll do a brief recap after an introduction, and we'll jump right in, okay? So, first of all, for chat, just warning that this game is homebrewed. Don't backseat my players, don't backseat me, and we'll all have a great time, okay? That's pretty much it. I know tabletop people can get very passionate and adamant about certain things and certain rules. I don't care if you talk about it in chat. I don't pay attention to chat when I'm running a game. If you really want me to see it, you're going to have to join the Discord, and then you can squawk at me all you want, and then I will just tell you you're wrong because I know more about what's going on in the background than you do because I'm the DM. And I have all these notes and all this stuff back here. So, yeah, that's how it is. Love you, chat. Hope you guys are all ready to have a great time. Mainly the whole idea of this is so you have a seat at the table and you can see what's going on and you can enjoy the story as it unfolds with everybody else. And that's it. So, also, bullying any of my players will 100% not be tolerated, and you will find yourself banned so incredibly fast that you'll still think, that it's 1995, okay? So, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and introduce my players from left to right in the Discord. Turn that down a little bit and start that. Okay, so starting with Cynthia. Cynthia, go ahead and introduce yourself. You weren't here last game.
No, sorry about that. I had a prayer commitment. I'm Cynthia. I will be playing Rian the Darsta. I'm a drow that's 356 years old and as technically the responsible adult for this crew.
Yeah.
God's help me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to Daniel. Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Daniel. I'm playing Timothy, the Paladin, and we're going to explore some backstories this game, I think.
Yeah, a little bit of everything with that. A little bit of backstory, a little bit of socializing. This is largely a social game. There will be combat, just not as often as you might normally see. It really depends on you guys what kinds of fights happen. So, uh, I'm excited to delve deeply into backstory and deeply into lore and the world and do some narrative world building with you guys. So, thank you for like bringing that to the forefront there, Dan. Really appreciate it. Raven, go ahead.
I'm Raven. I'm playing James Honoris, the Warlock Bard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to pry out some secrets out of everyone.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Okay. And next, last but not least, we have Savvy Gabby.
Oh, you picked the right time because the dog started growling.
Uh-huh. As
First, I want
always.
to say I don't know what you have against 1995 and
I
why
don't.
everyone's getting banned there.
But it's so far behind, is what I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, I liked 1995. I am Gabby. I am playing a half drow barbarian named Barakasa, who probably wants to be seen by an adult, seen as an adult,
Mm-hmm.
by Rian, who is her cousin.
Help, help, I need an adult.
Your
Okay.
character, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Last we left off, the party had, maybe it's not quite a party yet, but we had at least gathered together here in Sorath, one of the cities within the normal boundaries of the sovereign kingdom of Cruelty. It's south of Fordath, and it connects the main highway that runs central through Cruelty. It's a stopover town. It's a place where nobles and merchants and such stop for a few days, rest before they continue their journeys to wherever they are going along the main trade route of Corinth. Sorath itself is an older city, and our party gathered in one of the oldest inns in the country, the Serpent's Head Inn, a inn or tavern that is more of a, it's more neglected than anything. It's perhaps under patronized, and that is why it has a little bit of a bad rap. The newer boarding house outside the city itself has a much better reputation. It is also much newer. So this is the boarding house here, and this is the Serpent's Head Inn. Our party sort of started along this little journey by picking up a bounty on the board and then proceeding down to Setrak Training Center, which is all the way down here. Setrak Training Center is a military installation. It is a training center for new recruits for the Corinthian military. They gathered some information here about the whereabouts of some of the local nobles and proceeded to run into a old acquaintance, at least one of Vericasa's older acquaintances, one Cara Doulahan. Timothy got into a little bit of trouble outside of this training center, however, and he may or may not have earned the ire of Sergeant Brandisnecht in the process. They proceeded along this road with Cara Doulahan to this building here, which is Cricket's Bar and Grill. Cricket's Bar and Grill is a restaurant, it seems, and that's where we will begin our story today. So let me go ahead and load Cricket's Bar and Grill. Okay, and activate the scene here. Okay, I believe you all have access to your tokens down here, yeah? Can you see your tokens?
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, I'm gonna move Vera. There we go. That just updates it. Okay. And the scene is yours. There is some rain lingering on here. And it looks like the exterior, no one has quite yet arrived for lunch, but there is some meat getting cooked here on these open pits, on perhaps some sides and the pots as well. The scene is yours, and you may proceed as you wish.
Vera has probably primarily taken to introducing Rianne to Kara.
Okay.
Probably not really caring about the other two, honestly. I mean, making sure they're around, but like, priorities.
Mhm.
They're catching up from what they've been doing. And prior to this adventure, Vera was on vacation anyway. So she'd been staying kind of in the outskirts of Fordyth initially. So
Mhm.
lot to talk about.
Yeah, and Kara has been talking about how her journey has been since she was released from duty under you, which was She found her way back to Halcorth, which is the city on the as far south as it gets, along the midline of Corinth. Reported in, received accolades, and was reassigned to the training unit in Setrak. With the dissolution of First Expeditionary. So she did not have to return to First Expeditionary after her terrible encounter where most of her original unit was destroyed. So, and she has expressed that she feels very lucky. I believe we talked about this a little bit last time, but she's very much into listening to you and your story. So she proceeds to head towards the building here, cutting between the road and the trees, and the bushes, and heading towards the place. She says to you guys, this place gets swamped around lunchtime, so we might want to get in there and get a order in before anyone out. Damn it! There are people here already. Oh, it's just one guy. He heads inside. Okay. Switch up the ambiance. And while you all enter here, I'm going to briefly describe what you see. You see a young woman here who's got her hair kind of bunched up. She is dressed in your usual sort of tavern girl frock. She's got some, looks like some kind of barbecue sauce smeared on her apron. And she's kind of dashing back and forth between the kitchen and this area here, serving this man with a plate laden with sliced salamander beef, and it looks like macaroni and cheese. Okay, I'm going to turn that globally down a little bit. Okay. As she says, as you all gather here, just a moment, I'll be back to take your order. She hurries back into the place here.
Cousin, you bring me to the most interesting places.
Timothy's going to take a seat at the table.
Okay. This long table's sort of situated a little bit like a bar. The interior layout here is haphazard. It doesn't look like whoever put this place together knew what the hell they were doing. She puts down a bowl full of some kind of brothy, heavily brothed soup here. It's very dark brown, and then she moves over to the rest of you and says, "What can I get you?"
Specialty of the house?
Specialty of the house, absolutely.
Same.
Sarah will just hold up 2 fingers, second one.
Okay.
Another one of those.
Okay. Everyone's getting a specialty of the house. The specialty of the house is roast salamander, and she gestures to what the gentleman at the end of your long table here has. Today our sides are macaroni and cheese and a bowl of beef broth soup.
Sounds delicious.
Okay. And then she goes back into the kitchen and puts out the orders, and you hear this old man go, "Damn it, girl, I can only do it so fast!" And then she peeks her head out of the kitchen and says, "It'll be a few minutes."
Take your time.
I raise an eyebrow at Kara and say, cute.
It's worth it. Okay, so the scene
If and when our girl comes back, I'm going to ask for a small beer.
Okay.
So, you want to go on this bounty, Vera, right?
Well, it was a place to start and kind of along the way. A farmer indicating that something's affecting his um There's the bounty board.
Bounty board, bounty board. Did I lose it?
No, I don't know where things are.
It's under Sorath Quests.
I don't see it.
Okay, player journal. Sorath. Oh, that's because for some reason your ownership of it got removed. I don't know.
I have lost permissions.
I will fix that.
Yeah, the only
We
one
all
I
have.
have is Find Calvin.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I had.
I fixed it. There you go.
Oh, I thought it was a farmer.
Yeah, it is a farmer.
Okay.
There's also this job board that you picked up the job board information from the Serpent's Head Inn, so that should
Got it.
also be available now too.
Yay.
Yeah, so this one said seeking off-duty military personnel or mercenaries to slay a monster stalking my herd. That's what I was trying to figure out. Was it like food or was it animals? And obviously brain's not working at 100% today. So, farmer.
Mm-hmm. The girl comes out and takes the order of this villager and this little boy. And then this guard walks in past you guys and then starts talking to her and places an order for 3 people outside. And she scurries back to the kitchen. And you just hear the clattering of pots and pans. And she kind of like pokes her head out again and says, "It'll be more than a few minutes."
Brienne just settles down, relaxes, and doesn't worry about it. It's not cold, and she's not in a fight. It's a good day.
The current weather outside is a little chilly. It's about 50 degrees. But
It's not snowing.
No, it's not snowing. And in here, it's nice. So they've got the fire going across the, across the floor here. And it's nice and warm in here. And it smells like succulent roasted meats. So, after a few moments, Summer returns with your orders. Is there anything else I can get you while I'm running around?
Small beer?
Yeah, I can do that, she says, and then she kind of thinks for a moment. And she says, "Is pale ale okay?"
That's fine.
Okay. And then she returns to the kitchen, taps the tap, comes back with a tin mug and passes it to you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We could also use directions.
Do you say that while she's like walking away?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she stops and says, "Directions to where?"
There's a monster sighting around a farm around here.
The farms are on the eastern end of the outskirts of the city. Which farm in particular?
On Skirtborough?
Skirtborough. Oh, they're right across the street. So she kind of just points out the door and indicates the farm that is directly across the street from Crickets. They're our primary provider of salamander.
I'll make this
Good
a lot
to know.
easier, thanks.
What'd you say, Rianne?
I went, good to know.
She nods and says, "It gives us a pretty good discount, considering, you know, we get 100% of our salamander from him. So anyway, and then she goes back to work.
So, if the universes hold true across it, this is probably some of the best barbecue we've had in a while.
Oh, yes. This is probably the first barbecue you've had in a while. Traditional fare is like, it doesn't include like a barbecued sauce or anything like that. Or you can get like a lot of smoked food because smoked food's kind of a staple in this time period. It's how you preserve food for a long time. But barbecue sauce is a thing that is new to this location. So Kara's just sitting there and she's like cutting her meat and just dipping it in the extra sauce and just really enjoying herself there. She got a big old smile on her face.
Oh.
I will follow
So-
suit.
The same, but having a conversation with Kara of what can you tell us about Skirtborough?
He's a local farmer, farms salamanders. He's on the Chamber of Commerce. He's an interesting guy. He's got 2 kids. That's about what I know about him.
Well, yeah. What kind of trouble has he been having other than something eating his herds?
That's about it. Like, we all know that a couple of his animals have been killed. So, you know, we support him by supporting this place a bit. At the training center, we're not really allowed to do anything outside of our normal duties, which is training and then going on training patrols at the graveyard. Everything else is supposed to get handled by the garrison. Sorat's garrison.
And why? And why hasn't the garrison been dealing with their problems?
It's more of a question for the garrison commander. I don't want to speak out of turn.
You don't have to speak out of turn. You can tell me the common gossip.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Uh,
Ooh, that's a good one. She says, "All right," and she kind of like bangs her hand on the table and leans in real close. I'm gonna move you so it's a little bit more like, oh, we're all kind of here right now, gathered around Kara. There you go. She says, "All right, you didn't hear it from me,
of
But-
course not.
but the garrison is kind of really focused on the logistical challenges of moving troops and materiel south. With the stance of the war effort, there's only 2 battalions here. They're overwhelmed. They're basically only doing foot patrols within the city and around the wall. They're not doing any exterior patrols. We're taking up the slack between Setrak and the graveyard, but that leads sort of the rest of the exterior of the city, like the outskirts on the east end, all the farms, out under patrolled. We don't have enough troops on our end to do it. Otherwise, you know, the Silver Knight would do it. He would, you know, extend training patrols to that way, but, you know, he also doesn't want to step on the new governor's toes. Because it is really the new governor's responsibility to make sure the garrison's doing their job.
True enough. But the garrison can't do its job if the people they're supposedly protecting are going away and dying or being injured or the herds are going lost, and it is our duty to make sure that they are taken care of so we can do our jobs.
Right. Yeah, it's a kind of a vicious circle, isn't it?
Yeah, but it can be broken. Player question: what time of day is it?
It is 11:30 a.m. You can open up a
Okay.
clock that'll show you what time of day it is and what day of the week it is and all that kind of stuff. If you go in the top left-hand corner, there's the little man symbol. You want to go all the way down to the one that looks like a sort of like a bookmark. If you click that, there's a button that says SC inside, simple character calendar, and that'll open up the calendar. You can double click on the header of the calendar to make it big, or you can leave it small.
Ah, there it is. Thank you.
Handy, huh?
Oh, it's raining. It's supposed to be raining.
Yeah, it's raining.
Joy. Okay. Well, tasty food and a chance to go beat up on stuff. Always a good day.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
surprised
gentles.
that House Sharon's troops were not more help. Weren't they recently in the area?
House Charon doesn't have a legal duty to the city or its outskirts. I don't think. I'm not a lawyer though, but I know from like coming into contact with House forces, they're only beholden to their lord and their lord's land. They're not beholden to the provinces owned by the crown, and Sorath is one of the provinces owned by the crown. So they have no obligation to protect the city.
That is so short-sighted.
She shrugs and says, "It is what it is." I mean, in all intents and purposes, the Corinthian military is House Justier's house forces. So that is like, I guess they kind of. It would be like an insult, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a nobleman or a lawyer. I don't know what any of this stuff really means. And then she puts a big spoonful of macaroni and cheese in her mouth.
True enough. Rianne works on finishing her meal.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the noble houses not to help out.
She shrugs.
The lazy ones.
I too will finish up my meal.
Okay.
Vera's been nodding along this whole time, and for aesthetic's sake, she 100% is a messy eater, so all that barbecue is all over her face.
Mm-hmm.
She takes an arm and just rubs it across her face, and that was good.
Kara's like, I know, right? It's worth it. And she's just like the mirror image of you. And she takes a like cloth that she keeps at her waist and says, I gotta figure out how to keep one of these wet for this purpose. And she like starts wiping her face. She's because otherwise I'm gonna be doing so much freaking laundry. And she folds it up. She leaves some money for her meal at the table. So I gotta go back.
What is the price of the meal?
Oh, she says this. Oh, so they charge you for the beer it's 3 zinc, that's the copper piece, and for the meal it's 4 core, those are silvers. So it's 4 silver and 3 copper pieces for the whole thing. And she says, I gotta get back to work, but this has been great catching up with you, and you know where I'll be. I'll be at the training center if you need something. Where are you guys staying?
In town.
In town? That's helpful. It's real helpful, buddy. You know, there's like
Uh,
1,000 buildings in town, right? She's not done roasting you. She says, would you expect me to go knocking on every single door just to find you guys?
I wouldn't expect you to find me.
Wow, okay. And she turns completely away from Timothy and says, where can I find the two of you?
Probably at the boarding house outside of town. We've heard good things about it.
Okay.
Probably over there.
All right. Well, if I have anything else I think of, or if I need you guys for something, I'll come by. She says, and then she heads off. She puts her helmet on and walks out.
How many pieces was it for the meal?
For the food, it was 4 silver pieces.
Okay.
James puts down a little stack of silver coins and still enjoys his mixed together meal.
What do you do?
I'll
Just like, did he like stir the macaroni and the steak together?
Stir it together and add a little bit of the stew as
Oh Jesus!
a sauce. Not all of it.
This guy kind of like over here, kind of up, looks down the bench, sees what you're doing, gags, gets up, throws some coins on the table, and walks away briskly.
James looks at him. I mean, it all goes into the same mouth hole.
He says, "I don't want to hear it." And he keeps going. Okay. If you guys are about done with being here at Crickets, we can move along. Or if you want to talk to anyone else, feel free.
Rianne is going to leave 10 silver on the table.
Okay.
That should cover the meal, the beer, and a nice tip for our waitress.
Mm-hmm.
Been helpful.
Yeah. And she comes back and she notices you guys are beginning to pay, and she says, if there's anything else, feel free to come by Crickets. We're open for lunch and dinner.
Fabulous. We will. It's delicious.
Thank you. Tell your friends. Also
Well,
tell your
gentle.
friends that we need help. And she collects the money and walks back to the kitchen. This place, you are realizing, is excessively understaffed as more people are coming to, like, take up spots here. I'm not going to fill the map with tokens, because that's going to cause the game to lag, but I have just enough tokens on the map to kind of, like, paint the picture. Like, the outside, Timothy, as you look outside, it's just, like, more troops from Setrak. It looks like Kara got waylaid, and then she's, like, going down the line of everybody she knows, saying hello, you know. And it's, like, 15 guys coming up the walk here. And then from where you're sitting, you can also see the other road, and it's more people. This place is about to get real crowded.
Well, we should probably head
CJ,
out
why
before
can
the
I
crowd
not move
comes.
my token?
Sorry, why can you not move your token?
Yes.
You should be able to move your token.
If she selected the calendar, she has to select the person again.
Oh, yes.
Ah. Okay, thank you. There, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I believe we have a monster to go hunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Time is money.
Am I going the right direction?
Yeah, you are. The farm is actually on the other side of this road here, this one that you're about to pass. So, okay. It's going to take us to the map here. I'm going to activate this map. Take us back
If we're walking, as we're walking, I wanted to cast something.
Sure.
A little quick bit on myself.
False life. Okay.
Past life.
You have to roll hit points for that. For some reason,
Yeah,
it's not.
1d4 plus 4.
Okay.
Which is 6.
Oh, 6 temporary hit points for you. There you go.
As we're walking, James takes out a little wooden token. One with a shield on it, and puts it in a small slot on his armor. And it seems the armor glows a little bit. as he does so.
Okay. Your armor glows with a little bit of light, and you feel a sort of like magical, like film or cloth kind of come over you. It's totally invisible, but you have some shields.
Do we see this?
Yeah, this is visible.
Have we ever seen anything like that before?
Uh, roll a history check. You haven't.
Pretty
Nice
damn
roll.
good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's a natural 20. Um, very good there, Rianne. You got a nat 20.
You
Nat
just
20.
had
Nice.
you had to get one more one
Just-
better than me.
Just one ups you there.
Hey, the dice do what the dice do. You know this.
I was all excited about my 19.
Okay, how old is Rianne?
She's a little older. She's a little. Vera, you've seen magic like this before. It's nothing nefarious. You haven't seen James cast any spells yet, but now you know he can, which is very interesting for you because you didn't know that before. And this sort of magic it's just shielding. It's probably something that he, learned to do as a kid. Either from getting beat up in the streets or something like that. Usually the magically inclined have like a traumatic experience with magic as their first experience with magic. And the more powerful they are, the more traumatic it can be. That's one of the reasons why the country screens kids for the ability, because they don't want like some 5-year-old accidentally burning down half a city because he just can't control himself. You know what I mean? So, and for you, Rianne, you've seen someone cast this spell before. This is magic that comes from something else. So some kind of entity is granting these powers. So these powers, on the natural 20, you know that these powers aren't naturally his.
Nope.
But you also know all of that other stuff about it. You just know that these powers aren't his naturally.
Nope. Yeah, she's gonna keep a closer eye on him.
Okay. So you guys approach Skirtborough Salamander Farm. Okay. Okay. Where is my information? Sorry, I have a brain injury, and sometimes I forget where I put stuff. It might be in here. Ooh. Oh, okay. Son of a bitch. Okay. Haha, all my folders are empty. Hold on. There's Skirtborough. Super. Hold on, please. I gotta find something. A lot of my data's gone.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Corrupted file?
I think so.
First you updates.
Extremely rude word.
Yeah, so I'm copying a backup. I might have to reload Foundry. Just open another program. Yeah, hold on. Try that again. No, okay. Skip that last part. Reload. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. So good news is all of my tokens are still here. All my characters are still here. Bad news is a lot of my other shit's missing. Or was missing. Is it still missing? Yeah, it's still missing. It might be because something else I tried to do. Okay. Well, what is still here? Okay, all that's still here. I gotta really check to see what's still here and what isn't still here, because that's important.
That's very important.
Yeah.
Take your time.
So it looks like all of the data for this particular quest is gone.
Oh, no.
which is kind of not great. Because it also is indicating that all the data for all the other quests is gone. So other than the main quest line, so that's okay. We can work through this. So you guys arrive here. Luckily, I kind of, as badly damaged as my brain is, it is a bit of a steel trap on some things. So you have this character down here. Can you see that token?
Yeah.
Okay. We have. Where the hell are you, little girl? Oh, here's the other one. And this one. Okay. And then we have you guys. I'm going to go ahead and drop you guys on the map. You guys are over here. And James. And Rianne. And... Shit. I opened Vera by accident. Put Vera here. Okay. So, as you guys are approaching, go ahead and give me perception checks while I figure out what to do with my life here.
Okay.
Well, that was a sucktastic roll.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Okay. So you all see this little girl who is running away from this pile of rocks. She's about 300 feet away from you guys or so, because you guys are at the fence there. And you're kind of walking down the road towards, like, the entry to the farm here. And she's running away from, we're going to call it this many salamanders. It's 4 salamanders. She's running away from 4 salamanders. She's hauling ass. And you see that she is maybe about, I want to say, 10 years old, maybe 12 years old, somewhere in that neighborhood. She's got like a coral colored skin a little bit, like a light pink, very light pink. Brown hair. She's got little 2 pokey little horns. And maybe like a 2-foot whip-like tail going back and forth as she's running away. And as you hear her screaming as she's running.
What's the fence made out of?
It's wood. It's just like a wooden fence you'd find holding in sheep or cows or something like that.
Rianne bolts the fence and runs to intercept the salamanders chasing the girl.
Okay. So you're gonna run,
Mm-hmm.
and okay. So
I'll follow.
okay, so you're gonna do the same.
I'm gonna watch.
You're gonna watch. What about you, James?
I wanted to ask a question. Is she running and screaming in fear or in joy? Because that can happen with kids.
You got an 8. You're unable to tell the difference. You can roll an insight check if you'd like.
Sure. I'm proficient in that. Not
Oh,
20.
oh wow. She's running away in joy. Like she's maybe like a split second from turning around and letting them tackle her and laughing.
Yeah, James is not going over the fence, but is continue walking
Okay.
alongside it.
Okay. As you are both approaching the dad down there, we're gonna roll for him. Sorry, I had you selected, Vera, so it looks like you were rolling. 11. Sees you bolting. Do you have your weapons drawn?
No,
No? Okay. And
I want to grab her and get her out.
okay.
Sorry, salamanders are dangerous.
Yeah, so she's going along, and then you are moving in. And these salamanders catch up to her, and they basically tackle her. She's covered in like 4 salamanders. And you hear sort of like a yelp, and then what are you guys doing?
Is it a scared yelp or is it a giggling yelp?
Make a insight check.
Can I insight check the salamanders, because Vera's a little close to like animal kind, so
Sure, yeah.
I want to know if we're talking like puppy tackle or if we're talking like danger tackle.
Okay. Rianne, you think they're tearing her apart?
Do you want me to do insight or animal handling?
Animal handling.
Okay. Nope. Never
Yeah,
mind.
you also think they're tearing her apart.
Never mind. Let's ignore the fact that I have a whole animal-related barbarian class. That's fine.
I'll give you another roll if you're.
This is D&D.
Are you fishing for advantage right now? Because I'll give you another roll if you are.
No, it's just one of those ones where like
No,
a natural
take
one
the
does
roll.
not.
Yeah,
I'm
take
taking
the
it.
roll.
Okay.
Relax, I'm taking it.
Okay.
However, it's
Mm.
one of those moments where the D&D dice don't match the nature of the character.
Hmm.
Just acknowledging.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, so you both think she's being torn apart.
Great. Play that
How
up.
big are these salamanders?
Salamanders can be anywhere from like 8 to 12 feet long, head to tail.
And how big are these?
These salamanders are kind of in the middle of that. They're gray.
Okay. Well,
Timothy's still
big
just
enough.
standing back and watching.
Gonna head and, committed to a particular action. I'm gonna keep doing it. So
Okay, so you're charging.
she's running toward.
Do you have your weapon drawn?
No, just the shield, because this is, the farmer's herd.
Mhm.
You don't want to just murder it, but it's a shield, and I've got a fist, and I can make a lot of noise.
Okay. He starts moving towards what's going on here. Okay, so this dog pile here, this salamander pile here, is just happening, and you're running towards with the shield. What are you doing, Vera? and Raven and Tim. I know you said, Tim, that you're just watching. So are you watching from there, or are you just?
I'm just gonna casually stroll up to where the dad is.
Okay. I'm gonna move you while you're doing that. Casually stroll them away.
Brienne has the girl.
No, she's charging
Not yet.
towards the salamander pile.
So she let the girl
Banging
go.
on her shield, trying to scare them away.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're trying to intimidate them. Go ahead and make me an intimidation check.
So I'll turn to the girl then and ask her what she was thinking.
She's under the pile.
She's under the pile? I thought we had grabbed her.
No, she's under the
Not
pile.
yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the greatest role in the world, but
Then I will cast Speak with Animals and run towards as well and yell at them to get off.
Oh, okay. I was not expecting speak with animals. Okay. So you cast speak with animals.
Fun fact, I have Speak with Animals.
Okay. That's like a daily you have, right?
Yeah, though it's interesting. It's not.
Let's see. Where is it coming from?
It's saying it's 0 of 0, but it's there.
At third
so I don't
level, when you
understand
adopt,
that.
you gain the ability to cast Be Sense and Speak, but only as rituals.
Oh, so I can't do it right away.
Yeah, you'd have to take
It's
10
the
minutes.
10 minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, okay. I don't know. Effing know.
Alright. I'm gonna fix that real quick. There you go. That's so you don't forget. I changed the title of it in your sheet, so it's ritual only.
Well, darn, we missed the opportunity to have
Conversation with some salamanders, yeah.
salamanders, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you are banging your shield. A couple of them kind of like cower and then start running back to this pile of rocks. As you're making all that noise, a few more pop out of the rocks. And then the little girl kind of like crawls, giggling out from under the pile. And the farmer approaches and says, "Oh, hold up. They're domestic. It's okay. It's safe."
Why are
That's
y'all attacking
nice.
cattle?
because it was attacking a girl. And I don't trust salamanders. They're delicious, but I fought too many of them.
Yeah, you can find these creatures all over Corinth. And the wild ones are dangerous. You know that. So.
Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily trust the domestic ones either. They're big.
They're big, yeah. I'm gonna keep moving, you guys. Okay. So you're out here on the farm, and Lester says, "So, what do I owe the pleasure? I'm Lester Skirtborough. This is my farm. What you doing here? What's up?"
Well, you left a message on the message board.
Ah, yeah. Oh, you guys are mercenaries or off-duty military?
Off-duty military would work, yes.
Okay. Make a persuasion check. Yeah, with his okay, he winks. I get you. Oh, you know, I don't have anything. I don't have anything against mercenaries personally. I think you guys have a place in the world, and you know, I know the military doesn't approve, but you know, I'm okay with it. So
No comment.
I'd look at him flatly and say, I really am off-duty military.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. So these are my daughters. That's Sarai, and he points to this one. And then he points to this one. He says, "This is Tina." Tina looks like him. Sarai clearly is one of the children of Al-Hadun. And
Nothing wrong with that.
he says, "Girls, why don't you go back to work? I'll talk to these nice people here about what they're going to be doing for us." The little girl nods and says, "Okay, okay," and she runs off to the barn. And kind of rolls her eyes. She's a teenager, obviously. Bigger than Sarai, about 5 feet or so in height. Coming into her womanhood, probably like mid-adolescence, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe like 15, 16, something like that. And you can tell she's kind of got a little bit of an attitude, and she says, "Okay, fine, whatever," and walks back towards the house. He says, so don't know what it was that attacked my animals. There's some evidence down at the barn. We found blood in the field where the one morning after, and the count was off. So far, we've lost two of the beasts. They're, I think maybe something's either it's poachers, like somebody's coming in and poaching my herd, or it's some kind of creature. But I don't have any evidence that it's poachers. But salamanders are valuable as livestock, so times are hard for everybody. I wouldn't 100% blame someone if they tried to steal my beasties, but they're dangerous too. So like if someone did steal one of my beasties, they're probably hurt. Like they would defend themselves. They're pack animals. They kind of gather together. So I don't know. It's kind of a mystery to me. They're just
Are you seeing them missing, or are you seeing them killed?
the count in the morning for 2 days has been off by one each day. So yesterday was off by 2. The day before it was off by 1.
Said there was evidence down by the barn.
Yeah. And out in the field there was a blood splatter.
Oh, I want to see both of those.
Yeah, and so he points you in the direction of where the blood splatter was, which was kind of out this way, and he points you towards the barn. Barn's more of a hatchery. It's where we keep the eggs. And, so don't break anything in there. Conditions are right for the creatures to hatch and incubate. So if you have any questions about the whole thing, how all this works, or, what's going on, feel free to ask. I'm going to get back to work. I assume you're going to take the job?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can pay you in. I got some money saved up for this, and I could also pay you in meat if you'd like as well. So
Tempting.
Money's fine.
he just nods. It's okay.
Well, let's go check out the blood splatter, since that's what my cousin thinks is most dangerous drink to start with.
Okay. You guys go ahead and do what you want. You can split up or investigate whatever you'd like, or talk to whoever you'd like. Yeah, all my character data is wiped out from... and this was all intact 2 weeks ago. Okay, so what you guys are you two are investigating the you three are investigating the blood splatter area, and you are investigating the barn, Tim?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we'll start with you, Tim. Since you're investigating the barn, you see the little girl Sarai go into the barn as you catch up,
Charge complete.
She is poking around inside. You follow her in, or are you going to look at the exterior first?
I'm gonna step around the exterior.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception or investigation check, whichever you would prefer.
Definitely not investigation.
17. 17 is pretty good.
Nice.
Okay, so as you're looking around the exterior, you do see on top of the barn there is some bending or some bowing in the top of the structure up there. And as you're looking, you see something sticking out, like straight out on the roof.
I'm gonna go get it.
Okay. You want to climb the structure and go get it?
Yep, I'm gonna take my time climbing up there to grab it.
Okay. That'll lower your DC for your athletics or acrobatics check significantly. So go ahead and roll one of those. Very good. 21's great. So you climb the side of the structure here. You get get on top of a box and you climb up on top of that. You use the next you use your reach to get on top of the gutter, pull yourself up by it, roll into the thatching a little bit, and then you kind of stomp your way up, get to the top, and it's a feather. This feather is about 3 feet long, brown and red.
Can I do a nature check on it?
Sure, yeah. Nature check, 12. Okay. You're pretty familiar with animals. Are you proficient in nature?
No.
No? Okay. You're pretty familiar with, like, animals you hunt, right? And you're familiar with animals that are on the coats of arms of various noble houses, which isn't many. Some of them do have animals on them and some of them don't. For example, the Charon is the eagle. The Mardosians are the myrmidon, which is an ant. And the Karliger are a dire wolf. Just some examples. The Royal House Justier is a griffin, and specifically the Royal Gryphon, which is a different kind of griffin. There are several different kinds of griffins that live in Cruelty. This could be a giant eagle feather. This could be a griffin feather. It could be something like that. You don't think it's anything other one of those two options, giant eagle or a griffin. Problem is, if it's a griffin, it depends on what kind of griffin it is.
I'll slide back down and make my way back over to the others.
Okay. So while you're walking back, the three of you are looking around for the blood splatter. Go ahead and give me perception checks, each of you.
For all the good it's going to do me, perception has not been my friend today.
And yet you have the highest of the rolls. You do find the blood splatter, and as you all are poking around, you see that it is quite a bit of blood, definitely significant amount. Whatever creature was assaulted here bled a lot, so might have been a little bit of a fight here. And then you notice, Brienne, because you got over the DC by 2, or DC was 15, you find a talon in the grass. A long black talon, razor sharp. It's probably about 8 to 9 inches long.
Terrestrial or aerial?
You'd have to make a nature check.
Well, keep my fingers crossed. We'll see what happens.
Your dice are hot today. You got over the nature check to identify this talon. So this is a griffin talon.
Okay, so we actually do have a monster on our hands.
Make a history check if you'd like. For this, because
Sure.
you're old enough, you have advantage.
I have advantage?
Yes,
Sweet.
because you've been around for so long. Okay.
I'll take that.
Yeah, 13. Yeah.
As opposed to
You're
the other one? Hell yes.
you're unsure of what kind of griffin this is, but you do know it is illegal to hunt royal griffins, because they are the coat d'arm of House Justier. So if this is a royal griffin, there's nothing you can do legally.
No, but they can be reported.
Yeah. So you pick up this talon. That's what goes through your mind when you do that. Are my items intact? My items are intact. Okay. So you have the Skirtborough talon. That's been added to your inventory, Rianne. And you, Timothy, have the Skirtborough feather. Okay.
I'm gonna be playing around with it as I walk over.
Okay. So what do you? It's going to be like a minute before Tim gets there. Or a couple minutes before Tim gets there? What do you guys do? Do you show your companions, Rianne, what you found?
Yes, I show them, or she shows them, she tells them what she remembers, and if it's one of the Imperial Griffins, which it probably is, we can't hunt it. But it can be reported that one is out and about and doing things it shouldn't be doing.
We can't hunt it. Can we still scare it away?
You know it's illegal to kill it, Rianne.
Okay, yeah, we're not allowed to kill it. You know, I don't know if we're not if scaring it away would matter, but that's just pushing the problem down to someone else. Now, if we could catch it,
This is
mostly unarmed.
this is an interesting idea, Rianne. Because you know, and James knows, and Verkasa knows that Griffin riders are a thing. They're rare, but it is a way that people prove themselves. Nobles usually taming a griffin.
Now, if we could catch it, that would be an entirely different kettle of fish.
Tim, you arrive at this point.
I think we got a bird problem.
I think we have a griffin problem, and hold up the talon.
I hold up the feather.
Can we roll something?
Yeah, you can. What would you like to roll? You can roll anything.
Just to see if we can narrow down on what kind of griffin it is between the two pieces of data.
Okay, that would be a nature check. Your DC is a little bit lower now that you have both pieces of data. Okay. Anybody else?
Sure. Nature?
Yes, it's nature. Okay.
I'm gonna make a roll, but specifically to find out only if it is tasty or not.
Ah. Sure. Yeah. Roll a tasty check. It's probably really, really gamey.
I'll convey that important information.
Yeah. Okay.
Did
So
Rianne beat the DC?
yes, Rianne and Vera did beat the DC. So did Timothy. With it lower down, it is you know this belongs to a red griffin, not a royal griffin.
Can we hunt those?
Yes, it's legal to hunt those.
Sweet. Although capturing it still might be to our benefit, but it's obviously been here It's eating one a day. So either it's very hungry or it's got a clutch. That's a guess.
Bird that size probably has to eat fairly regularly.
Probably. Would that be insight or history, Game Master?
To figure out how often this bird eats.
This creature eats, yes.
Yeah, it's more of a nature kind of thing. I'll tell you with identifying the creature, you're inside of its hunting range. Its hunting range is about like middle Crunth, though usually they kind of stick to more mountainous areas. Where you are in the Navarre region, it's hilly here, very hilly, and this is sort of like a place that a griffin might nest. They also might a red griffin might nest. They also might nest in forests. They kind of steer clear of heavily mountainous areas because that is royal griffin territory, and they don't get along. Um, so, like, if you had to think of Corinth at large, if you look at the overall map of Corinth, which I'm gonna make you do anyway, whenever you load over, there you are. So Sorath here. If we just sort of draw a circle around where like Red Griffin territory is, this kind of makes it up. These kinds of areas make it up. Oh, this one, we're gonna move this one over here. And they like sort of this sort of area around the Blood foothills. The other spaces, notice how they're kind of away from the range, the larger ranges around the country. That's Royal Griffin territory. So they kind of center themselves in the center of the country, which you're in the middle of. So it kind of makes sense here. It would have been odd if it was a Royal Griffin, but they do range much farther sometimes. So, but yeah, this is definitely within the area of Red Griffins. You'd have to go looking for it, you'd have to, find some other way to find it.
Well, we know where it's going to be. Theoretically, it's going to show up here. It has 2 days running, so. Anybody got ranged weapons?
Nope.
I got my trusty crossbow. And he bets his crossbow on his side.
We would need to ground it first in order for me to help. I have a thought, a question, I guess.
Hmm?
Have we heard of these? Well, I don't know. I may not know this. Did you go over the dragon or the Griffin Rider thing? Did you mention that, Rian?
Yes.
Okay, so do we know if we've seen Griffin Riders on red Griffins?
Yeah, any kind of Griffin, like the Griffin Riders are more of a historical thing. They're not very they're not a military thing, not a military. There aren't any Griffin Rider military units at this point in time. No, none of the royal family are Griffin Riders at the moment, and as far as anyone knows right now, there aren't any Griffin Riders in Corinth.
Okay. I mean, it's only taking one a night. That seems very controlled. That's all.
Yeah,
And maybe it is. Maybe it is. It's fine, but
I see where you're going with that. You think maybe it is a Griffin Rider.
it'd be cool, wouldn't it? Probably not.
To have a Griffin, or to be a Griffin rider, or to be having a Griffin rider being the one that's directing their creature to destroy this farmer's herd.
I mean, when you say it like that, I really just mean like it would be cool. Like it just the concept is it's out of
The
stories, you
concept is
know?
exceedingly cool. It's been decades since I've seen one, but yes, it would be
But
exceedingly cool.
that's why it would be cool, because it's right out of Legends. It was a silly idea. It's fine. So are we
Cousin,
hanging out
remember
here
your
tonight?
legend is my history.
Did we tell Lester about this so he's up to date?
I think we probably should. Now, the question is, do we want to hunt or capture said Gryphon?
We'll hunt it, and if we can, we'll capture it.
Cool. All right, so we should go see our erstwhile employer. Why are you being annoying?
Yeah.
Are you guys unable to move yourselves?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Try refreshing your page. I reloaded the application on my end earlier, so you might have to refresh.
Yep.
My I might
It
have to
said it
have
was
you help
lost.
me with my settings, because this whole scene has been like really, really zoomed out for me.
Page up and or plus and minus zooms in for you.
I've been doing the plus and minus, and it makes it really grainy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been bad. But we can worry about that later. Just
Oh.
if you see me lagging behind, that's usually why. I can't really see anything.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's go ahead. Yeah, you guys can't move because you're just on the Sorath map. I'm stupid.
I can move myself now because I reloaded.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Being killing.
Yeah, let me go to the right page.
There we go. Now I can move.
Where's the freaking...
Pop out. Be a good boy and be over there.
Let's
And
move.
be wide.
Let's move Vera. Okay. So you guys come up to Lester. You fill him in.
Yes.
Yep.
He kind of looks at you all and says, "Huh. So what's your plan? Are you gonna like trap the beast? Are you gonna go track it to its lair? What's your plan here?"
I think trapping the beast is most efficient because we know where it's going to be. We don't know where it is.
Does that mean you want to use one of my... Okay.
I will be glad to compensate you for its loss.
Okay. Okay.
I won't.
He
That's
kind of...
not my. It's not your problem. That's mine.
He glowers at Timothy like, what the hell?
It's your bird problem.
Never mind. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So you need to use one of the beasts to lure the creature here, and then you're going to capture or kill it. Okay. All right. I guess.
Now,
Uh-huh.
Rianne is going to pull James off to one side and go, "You cast magic earlier. What magic do you have?"
I have to get myself protected.
Do you have anything that would be useful in hunting this thing? You know, a way to make things sticky, to freeze it in position, anything useful.
I think
All
the
about
most
why don't you?
useful I can be is shoot it out of the air.
Well, I'm hoping to get it on the ground to make it simpler.
Like I said, my magic is more about protecting myself, not influencing the battlefield.
Okay. Just as a word of advice, being able to stick your enemy's feet to the ground is a good way to protect yourself.
Fair enough.
While she's having that conversation, can I continue talking to the farmer?
Yeah.
I want to ask, like, what their if this was occurring overnight, and if it was, like, what the usual process is. Are they like free roam? Do they have an enclosure? Like, how does all of that work?
Okay, so he says, "Well, I'll be happy to turn you over to our up and coming salamander farmer here." And his daughter comes up, Sarai, and says, "She can give you the details of the operation." And he kind of steps back and watches and waits for her to deliver the details. She says, "Okay, so salamanders, right? Best thing ever." And she's got a very slight accent, but she looks like she's adapting very well to Common Kuruk. She says, "They start off as eggs, as you may or may not know. And when they hatch, they imprint on the first thing they see. And if it's you or me or my dad or my sister, they are domestic and they become friendlier to humans or friendly-ish. They'll still defend themselves, but they're very, all about kind of protecting their human. And if their human goes missing or for too long, they go wild. So that's the first thing you got to know about domestic salamanders, right? They go wild. They change color from gray to whatever other color they can be, and they go wild, and then they're dangerous all the time. So that's the first thing you got to know. And then for the farming part of it, what we do is they have their own burrow. They live in their burrow. After they hatch, they group together like that, and she kind of points over to the rocks. That's their burrow over there. When they go about and they try to build another burrow nearby, we just kind of dissuade them from doing that, usually by filling it in several days in a row, and then they stop, and then they go back to their burrow. When they try to build a new burrow, that's our idea. That's how we know that there are too many in the flock, and we need to sell some. Um, and so that's kind of how it works. They free range over in our paddock here. They will dig up small animals like squirrels or badgers or that kind of thing. They'll eat bugs and insects, and they'll eat plants. They're omnivores. They'll eat like random like plants and stuff. They're usually pretty good. They graze grass too, so they're really hardy. They're the trash can um, of animals. Like my dad wanted to like kind of convince people to buy a salamander egg, let it hatch, and then you can just feed it your table scraps, and it's great. Like you don't have to worry about like your trash piling up outside your house or anything like that. Like it's nice and clean, and there all you have to do is make sure that the salamander's got a place to go, and then you can just that's what the sewer's for. But nobody wanted to hear that proposal because salamanders in my neighborhood? No. They're all up against that. And she will keep talking if you don't stop her.
I will try to direct her into nocturnal or diurnal.
So they are diurnal, but sometimes they will wander at night.
Okay, so is that when you guys think they are getting taken?
Oh, are you guys hear about like them being taken?
Actually, we're here to discuss the political implications about deploying salamanders throughout the city.
Oh, okay. She kind of just straight up believes you in that childlike way, no guile
Mhm.
whatsoever. She says, "Well, I don't know anything about politics, but I do know that my dad has been trying to convince the Board of Commerce to, to allow salamanders into the city for, as domestic pets."
Can we go back to the question I asked?
What was the question you asked? I'm sorry.
If you guys think they're getting taken at night.
Oh, so the other night I saw a big shadow out my bedroom window, and she points out of her bedroom window. It's over there, and she says, "Big shadow came down and swooped into the field, and there was a lot of squawking and stuff, and then it was gone."
So yes, and it sounds like they're directly attacking the burrow itself.
No, it was in the middle of the field. My sister didn't believe me. She was like, "Oh, it's just probably some guy sneaking in and picking off the lone one and then sneaking it out." And I'm like, that's not true because I saw the big swooping shadow do it." But she doesn't believe me.
I believe you.
Okay.
I believe you.
Thank you. I'm not a
I've learned a
liar.
lot about salamanders
You
today.
know all about salamander ranching now.
So much more than Vera
Yeah,
ever
but
wanted.
really, I mean, how do you feel about salamander feeding habits versus color palettes of skin tones?
So the more gray they are, I think the more they like vegetables. If they're more of like a darker gray, I guess that's a wrong way to put it. The closer they are to white, I think they like more vegetables, but the closer they are to black, I think they like more animals. But if they're a bright color like yellow or red or something like that, they're bad and you should stay away from them because they've gone wild.
Timothy's just looking over Veracassa as the little girl's going on, just watching.
Mm-hmm.
Do go on. What's your favorite one?
So I like Gertrude. Gertrude's my favorite salamander.
What is the little girl's name again?
Sarai.
Sarai. I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask Sarai what her bedtime is, and if when she saw the big dark shadow it was before or after her bedtime, if she knows when it happened.
Bedtime is nightfall for all of us because we get up with daybreak.
Makes sense.
So nightfall, probably like. I know I got up to go to the bathroom, and then when I was coming back from the bathroom is when I saw it.
Did you see the moon? Could you tell how high the moon was in the sky?
Which moon?
World building, right?
Yep.
Whichever one would be better for telling time is where I'm going.
Titanicus is the one that's out every night. So she said, "Yeah, the white moon, Titanicus, was up." She says that one was the highest 2 nights ago. Couldn't really see the other two.
Does that give us enough of a time idea?
It's probably in the neighborhood of like well after dark. You're talking maybe in the neighborhood of 9 p.m. or so.
I think we're spending the night personally, but
We just have to stake it out.
yeah. Sorry.
Well, you have 9 hours to kill.
9 hours of learning about salamanders.
I walk away. I go tell Riam what we know.
Is the farmer still there?
Yeah, he's kind of just like standing there watching.
Is it possible for us to get a rope, a stake, and 3 hemp blankets?
Yeah, I can get you those.
That'd be great.
Yeah, he'll provide those to you whenever you're ready.
I'll just follow him to grab them.
Okay. Yeah, he'll give them to you right away.
I'm gonna walk back to everyone else.
Rope, 3 blankets, and a stake. What
Yep.
do you have planned?
I have plan.
And
So-
that plan is?
Well, whenever griffins fly in, they only see things from above, right?
Theoretically.
So we stake up a salamander in the middle of the field, off by itself. 3 of us hide under these blankets that we cover with hay around it. So whenever it lands to attack the salamander, we ambush it, and then the 2 other people rush out from either under the blankets with everyone else or from the burrow. Focus on attacking the wing to hamper it down, and then try to capture, if not kill.
There's only 4 of us.
I was counting little girl, but yeah, 4's good.
No, we are not taking a civilian, a child civilian on this. No.
How's your animal handling check with a salamander?
I don't care. It's a no, we are not endangering. No.
Suit yourself. Make sure you don't stake out Audrey.
I'm sure the farmer can tell us which one to use. Hopefully, it won't end up getting killed. I'm going to go talk to the farmer, find out which salamander we can use, what the cost of the salamander is,
Okay.
in case it does die.
Okay. He says it'll be by weight, depending. So the heavier the salamander is, the more expensive it'll be. So we can get a small one. Wouldn't be as much of a loss. They grow pretty quickly.
Whatever one you feel that you're most reasonable to get rid of.
He nods and he says, "Okay. You wanted to do this at night?
Yes,
All
that's
right.
when the attacks have been happening.
Well, I'll have one ready for you tonight then."
Fantastic. All right. Gonna go back. Tell the guys this. Then I'm gonna head into town and get a net and some more supplies.
Okay.
Food, water,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Okay. So let me open this up. All right. So you're looking for food and water and supplies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you
A
want to.
fishing net would be optimal, but a bird net would work just as well.
Okay. You should have a new store available in your journal under Sorath, under Places. So under Player Journal, you click on Sorath, and then you click on Places, and that should give you. There should be a couple of stores in there already.
I've got Crickets and Ripley's.
Yep, Ripley's General Store. Across from Ripley's General Store, which is here, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, that's where it is the Sorath's Farmers Market. You do see that they have a lot of stuff on sale there as well, so I'll give you permission to see that too.
Okay.
Could I have gone with?
Yeah. So I'll move you gals to the town. You guys are at Ripley's. As for the two gentlemen, what are you up to while they're shopping?
I am going to find a shovel and then dig out 3 little fox holes, kind of spaced out.
There are
Like one here.
4 of you, by the way.
Right, I'm gonna make one a double for the 2 ladies.
Oh, okay. All right, so you're gonna find a shovel, and he's got tools around the farm, so you borrow a shovel, and you can dig some foxholes. You'll spend a lot of time doing that.
Just maybe like a foot deep. I mean, because I'm gonna cover everyone with a blanket, but
Okay.
yeah, kind of like in a rough triangle pattern.
Sure. And James, while he's doing that, because that'll be a few hours, what are you doing?
In the beginning, he is going to try out to lure over one of the salamanders, like you're wanting to pet a dog,
Mm-hmm.
like getting low and trying to flirt a little bit with some jerky of a ration.
Okay. You can make an animal handling check. Your DC is lower because you have some food.
Animal handling it with the alphabetical order.
Okay. So one of the salamanders is feeling a little braver than others, and it kind of comes up to you and snatches it out of your hand. Um, okay, let me roll this real quick. What's your armor class?
15.
15. Okay. It misses. It misses your hand. Luckily, and as you see that, it kind of like makes this big chomp. It's got a lot of needle sharp teeth along inside its mouth, and that would have hurt a lot if it had bit you.
Good thing I have false life. Uh, yeah. After that, he will help a little bit with Timothy and Timo's hole diggery.
Okay. So after you finish the first hole, Tim, um, after James has befriended one of the salamanders, uh, James comes over to help you dig.
Oh, good, you found the bait.
Not necessarily the bait, but a bait.
Should name him Bait. For luck.
Oh. It makes a sound. Oh.
CJ,
That,
which is
oh, that,
stronger in this world, hempen
that, that is
or
not the
linen
sound that
or
is not the
canvas?
sound I imagined.
Canvas.
Okay.
And, I can't get out of my head that they sound like Murloc.
Oh. Yes.
Exactly. Uh,
How big is a griffin?
Gryphon, you know that a red griffin is a large creature.
All right, since they're singularly lacking in nets, I'm gonna need to buy 6 to 8 yards of heavy canvas, hempen rope, some stakes.
Okay. So you're gonna get that from the general store.
Yeah. And if um on our way back we'll stop by Crickets and get 4 orders of roast salamander to go.
Okay. All that roast salamander to go will be 16 silver, and then you can from that shop. If you wanted to buy something, you can just should be able to buy it from the system there. Though apparently this doesn't have the update that I did where I went through all. I think this is a really old version of the journal. It like backdated the journal for some reason. So when it updated to the new version of Foundry, it didn't keep what I had before in the journal, which is my fault. I should have looked, but it's been 2 weeks, so I thought everything
could happen.
was safe. So you want some canvas, um, and you want
Which is not letting me buy.
no, it's not letting you buy it because it's not priced properly. There you go. I just fixed it, fixed the canvas at least. Um, so it should let you.
There we go.
They should let you buy that now.
Uh, 10 yards.
Okay. And then you wanted what else? Stakes?
Rope.
Rope. What kind of rope?
Hempen, because that's it. I don't think silk is a good idea.
No. They both have the same strength check on them. So
So
hempen's
let's
cheaper.
do. It is,
Yeah, hempen's cheaper.
and I don't think there are stakes listed. Didn't see any.
No, but I mean it's wood, so like you can easily carve some stakes of your own if you need to.
Yeah, I just didn't see wood either.
Okay, there's some trees over there. You can grab some wood on the way back.
Okay.
Just so you know, you removed my token.
Did I? Oops. That was not intentional. Sorry, my bad.
I'm invisible.
There you go.
I have returned.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I buy? No, I cannot buy the salamander. That the game master will have to do that for me.
Oh, from crickets? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
It's because it's not listed as SP, that's why. I had gone through all the shops at one point and turned them back into D&D standard, and I know I put a note in, like, in the game chat that I did that, so I know I'm not crazy, but apparently I'm gonna have to do it. I've got, like a week's worth of work ahead of me again, and so much stuff is lost that I have to recreate from the ground up now. So it's gonna be a hard 2 weeks for me just to get me back to where I thought I was with this campaign. It is what it is.
Okay, I have
Water's free.
salamander and water for the rest. Yes, but I got 8 water because water is good for us.
Mm-hmm. You guys should have access. Oh.
There.
Okay.
Did I do it wrong?
No, you did it fine.
Awesome.
I think you got plenty of roast salamander now. Just so you're aware, you guys do have a party inventory. You can go to your party inventory by clicking on the actor button. It's where your character sheets are stored. It's just under group utility. So you should have a item that, or an actor in there that says a Bach party inventory. You click on it and it opens up a grid. And you can put stuff in there and it's shared.
Cool.
Yeah. And pretty short works because I've tried it out with the test, but you know.
Well, it's only letting me put money in it currently.
Does it not let you put stuff in? You put a shield in there.
Nope.
It does allow me to put a shield in there.
Okay. From where?
I moved it from. Oop, that's just. Yes, create the new pile. It allowed me to move it from the items tab, so you might be able to do you might be able to put something else in there. Are you trying to put food in there?
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can move it over. Salamander. Yep, it's letting me move it in there. Okay, I might have to fiddle with the permissions.
In the
Oops,
meantime,
3 salamanders and water for everybody.
Okay.
Farah was hanging out at the farmer's market. She didn't see anything she wanted.
Okay. Not even a chicken, because they have chickens.
Oh, I know. That's why I said she's hanging out at the farmer's market.
Oh, okay. So she's
enjoying every moment of it.
She's just watching the farmer's market happen. Yeah.
Yep. There was no tea, so.
Okay.
All right.
On your way back, I want the two of you, you two ladies, I want you to roll a perception check. Okay, 6 or 11 and 8. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. All right, so you two return to the salamander farm, and you see that James and Timothy have dug some holes, and there's a salamander hanging out with James.
Well done. What are the holes for?
So you can sit in them and be covered with a blanket. You never sat in a foxhole?
Far too many times. Oh well, I have rope
I have
and
bait.
cloth. We can try and get over it to try and catch it alive, and rope to tie it up with. And if we can't, I'll take it off it at the neck.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Well, it's to the group. I have a question to the group.
Oh,
What are we gonna do when we catch it?
I'm not really planning on catching it. That's just a pro, like a extra benefit.
Yeah, I'm saying like, is there a plan around who we turn it into? Like, how we hold
Well,
it for that long? Like,
traditionally, you can make your name and become a Gryphon rider. More
see, now you're
likely,
just
we could,
mocking me.
or we can use it as a bribe to the governor, and he can become or they can become a Gryphon rider and actually do their job and take care of the city.
That ain't gonna happen.
I mean, for once, I agree. I don't.
I don't think we're going to take it alive, but I do have backup plans if that does happen.
Okay.
Absolute worst comes to worst, we take it back to the capital and give it to the princess.
All I'm saying is, you know that once I get started, like I can't. Like sometimes just
Yes, I
can't
know,
reel it
dear.
in.
I know, dear. I know.
All right.
I know an alchemist who can help with that, I think.
So we're fine if this thing ends up dead. Is where
Uh-huh.
I'm going, right? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Capturing it would be optimal. Killing it is probable.
All right, I sit myself in a hole.
it is like 2:45 in the afternoon at this point.
We're going to have to sleep up. We're going to have to
Yeah.
stay up at night. Yes, taking naps is always a good idea.
Well, having just dug 3 holes with James over here, I'm gonna go lay down on this side of the hill and take a nap.
Okay, we'll take a nap.
On the way over there, I'm gonna grab one of the boxes of foods, assuming that it's for me.
Yes. I'm going to wait a while, but take a nap because, why st- why
Okay.
stand when you can sit, and why sit when you can sleep?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like you guys are just gonna wait until nightfall here. So we will
Mm-hmm.
move things along
How
to.
long does my little friend stay with me?
He kind of goes off foraging after a while. You were interesting for a little bit, but then you stopped giving him jerky, and then his brain reset at some point, and he just went off, with the rest of the pack to forage. So, okay. So nightfall occurs. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Move to.
In interval, I would like to cast False Life, like paired Because I
Okay.
know it falls off after an hour.
Yeah, it fell off after the first hour, so if you want to cast again now, you can, or you can wait until another point. Up to you.
Let's just recast it now.
Okay. Um,
It's 5.
yeah. All right.
Before it goes to like night, I'm gonna make sure that every time I see that little girl wander by, that I make up a question that I tell her that Verkessa wants an answer about salamanders, and then point her in her direction.
Okay, and then she eats it up, and she just goes. So every like hour or two, Sarai comes by and just starts talking to you, Veracasa, about salamanders.
Do I know that Timothy's doing this?
Uh,
Do
it,
I like?
it,
I'm
it,
not being subtle.
he's not being
Okay.
subtle, and if you ask her why she's unloading this information on you, she will say, "Oh, Timothy said you wanted to know."
I'm learning so much.
Well, yeah, I think everybody should learn more about salamanders. And then she skips off.
This is a major test in patience.
Mm-hmm.
But Vera does not let her rage go for small humans who are passionate about things. That's rude. She will let her talk.
I'm sorry, time is
James,
marching. Time is marching forward, James.
James is generally interested in the stories of the salamanders.
Okay, so we're well into the night. Gonna go ahead and do this real quick before anything else.
We'll take up bait and get into position.
Let's see.
Did you actually name it bait?
Yeah, for luck.
Activate this scene over here. I know you guys can't see anything. I'm gonna put you guys down now. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys bait. You insist on his name being bait. I just have to change his token because, I have one for domestic ones and I have one for non-domestic ones. So. Okay, and then his name is Bait. We're gonna name him Bait. Token name Bait. And his display name is hovered by anyone.
It's better
Yay.
than naming it Jerky.
Okay, you guys can place yourselves wherever you would like on this map, and you can also place Bait anywhere you want on this map.
Right in the center.
Oh, you want him to be right? Well, he's kind of in the center. In the center would be like right here. You can see him, right? Can you see anything at all?
Yeah.
It's very dark, but I can see things.
Okay.
I can see fine, thank you very much.
Yeah, you've
I
got.
had to refresh. Mine didn't load.
Okay.
It's dark. It shouldn't be dark for me, but
Well,
I don't see anything.
I see that your vision's taking you out to 120 feet, James. So I think we're 90 feet. So
yeah,
you're.
it should be 120. But
I mean, that's basically the whole map.
yeah,
So let me see why it's
it,
not taking you out to 120.
it's
Vision.
still a darkish hue over all of it.
You have dark vision, right? Okay, so that's
Yeah, the
yes.
magical kind.
It should be doing what
Better. Yeah,
it should be doing. Is that better?
that is a lot better. I can see colors.
Okay. You shouldn't be able to see colors in dim light. But there isn't any light, so I don't know why you can see colors.
I can see color on the map in real life on my
Oh,
screen.
okay, yeah. it should grayscale those for you. I guess that's not working at the moment, but I don't know. Okay. We just lost Christina on Foundry.
No, I should see normal in darkness.
Oh, really?
As per wording of Devil's Sight, you can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a
That
distance of 120 feet.
that might be why it's giving you color then, because I know for Rianne, she should only be able to see in grayscale.
Which I can.
Or
I can't see anything.
You can't see anything at all? Okay.
No.
Alright, hold on, let me move you, and that might refresh your... There you go, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it needs that for whatever reason. Okay, so bait's right here. And Timothy, you can actually see stuff, right? I think there's global illumination on this page.
I can see it dimly, enough for what I need to.
Yeah, there's global illumination on this page, so that's why.
Where are the hole?
I'm in a hole. There's probably a hole over here, and probably a hole over here, like in a triangle pattern. And then I figure we put bait right in the center, staked up, cover it up with the hay-covered blankets, and then wait until the magic happens.
Okay. So, move you gals together. Okay, is this where you all want to be? Or
Yep.
whatever happens?
Just gonna refresh this real quick.
That looks about right.
Okay. Sorry. Time keeps moving on.
Understandable.
I'm not doing it to spite you.
know.
I swear. It's just,
I'll just eagle.
you're waiting for a creature to show up, and it may or may not. Okay.
It'll be a long night.
Why do you think I got food?
Nom 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 nom.
Okay. So, after a couple of hours, you're getting closer to midnight, and moons are much higher in the sky. I want those of you that can cast magic to do a particular role. Now, tell me if this is something that you can do, because I never took note of this on the test account, so I'm not sure if you can. In your card where all your dice are and where you can select your language, is there a button above that allows you to roll privately?
Self-roll.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Okay.
I have public, private GM, a blind GM, and self-roll.
Okay. I want you guys to set it to private GM.
Private DM. This D4
Okay.
is just gonna be a
I
test.
see it.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. If you can cast spells, roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay.
Whether or not you can cast them naturally or not, you can roll this Arcana check. So if you have natural spell casting, roll the Arcana check. If you don't have natural spell casting, but you are a spellcaster, roll the Arcana check.
Oh, for Pete's sake, really?
All right. So you feel around this time, close to midnight, a sudden sense of dread. There is, with that sense of dread, your hair on the back of your neck stands up along your arms. You get goose flesh or goosebumps. Those of you that rolled and rolled over a 10 have a better sense of direction as to where it's coming from. Those of you that did not do not have a better sense of where it's coming from. The sense of dread is only the precursor to it. You then feel a wave of powerful, foul magic. And as you feel this wave of powerful, foul magic, an image flashes into your mind of a doorway in darkness tearing open, bright purple light whistling and screaming. It belches frost and flame at the same time out of it as it tears open. A blood-soaked floor in front of it, a body, and at that moment, the vision ends. What did you want to ask, Timothy?
Can I enhance my roll by casting Divine Sense?
Yes, you can. So with Divine Sense, as you're feeling this energy, you do feel that it is brought about by unholy, profane magics, some kind of evil ritual, something that taps into the knowledge of that is granted by someone, granted to someone that has been dealing with the hells. The two of you that rolled well, I will send you a message as to where you feel this coming from. And that will be where we will leave off for the evening. Something horrible has happened nearby. All of you feel that some kind of dark magic ritual has taken place, and all of you saw that vision at the same time.
Before we go, though, is Bait still okay?
You're looking around, and Bait's still there. He's kind of like munching on some grass. He's just...
We're good, though. That's a cliffhanger we didn't need.
Yeah, and he's just kind of hanging out at the moment.
He's too stupid to recognize fear dread when it gets smacked.
Yeah, he's got no idea what's going on. Like, if anything lets you know that the world is still turning, it's Bait. And that's where we'll leave off for this evening. So move us over here real quick, and have a good evening, viewers, chat. You guys have a good night. I'm gonna talk to my players for a few minutes, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of A Blaze of Cruelty. Bye-bye.